Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to turn an Altoid tin into a wedding mini album. We've already started by grabbing the Altoid tin, and this is an unaltered Altoid tin. You'll see some wording here and back here. We have removed that from ours. To do that, for the black portions, to remove that, we used acetone. To remove the white portion, we used mineral spirits. The pattern paper is trimmed at 2 1/4 by 3 1/2, while the French vanilla cardstock is trimmed at 3 1/2 tall by 12 long. And we're going to use our scoring tool for our paper trimmer to score the cardstock at 2 1/4 intervals. So we go 2 1/4, 4 1/2, 6 3/4, 9, 11 1/4. Then we grab our Teflon bone folder to give these a really nice crease. As you can see, there's a little bit of overhang on this. But first, what we're going to do is we are going to take our crocodile corner chomper and corner around our cardstock at the 1/2 inch portion. So what are we going to do with these little sections right here that aren't in that 2 1/4 size? Well, we're going to take our tear tape and we're going to put our tear tape along those little sections. And that's when we're going to use, that's one of the areas that we're going to use our really pretty pattern paper. For that, we're going to actually use 2 sheets because there are 2 sides to the paper. We're just going to use our fingers to remove that. So now we take the rest of the tear tape off and put our other sheet of pattern paper on it. And as you can see, that fits really nicely in our little Altoid tin. And from here, what you can do is we've got more pattern paper to put in whichever direction you feel like. We've also got pretty little pockets, these lacy looking pockets. They're actually cut out of paper also. They're cut out of cardstock. And they've got tags that go in them. So let's place one of these in our mini album to start out. This will also use some tear tape. It'll be much skinnier than the tear tape we used earlier. So you can place your little pocket anywhere alongside this album. we've already corner rounded this pocket. Then we've got our little tag. You could use the tag for journaling, or you could stick a picture on the tag. So I'm going to cut away right now so that you don't have to watch me do the whole process, because you've already seen how I do the pattern paper and the pocket. The rest of the packet. We've included a couple of couples on here and some patterned paper. We've made a little tab using Basil Basics ribbon. We've also done a little bit of stitching on the number of pages that are in here. Let's see if we can count that. Okay, so the number of pages that you would be able to stick a picture in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's roughly about 24 pages that you could stick pictures or journaling on. So you can either leave the little pull tab out, or you can place it back inside. We've already cut our sheets that are going to go on the inside and the front. We're going to glue them down using some Mod Podge. Also, we're going to use some Scrabble tiles to help decorate our front, and I've made little paper hearts in both French vanilla and candy apple that will surround the Scrabble tiles. This is the die cut shape that I used to create these flowers. What I used to help create that was a quilling tool for helping to roll the paper. So what you would do is just roll the paper till you got all the way to this end. So I'm going to show you how we do that. As you can see, it's a little bit longer than, it's a little bit out of shape. So what we would do if this happened, so all you do, stick it back in your quilling tool, but this time start from the pretty side, the side that's going to actually be our flower rather than just the smooth side. Then you just roll along with it, making certain to keep it all lined and even. Then you grab your glue. We're going to use liquid glass for this. I use liquid glass for all of the gluing. Then you put a dollop of glue, you stick that flat bottom down, and then you take the bottom piece and you kind of encircle it around your flower. This creates your really pretty paper flower. So again, we're going to use the Mod Podge to glue this pattern paper down. Then we're going to do another coat of Mod Podge on top of this pattern paper, but we're going to wait for the first coat that's on top of our tin to be dry. Otherwise it causes some warping issues. So then you just brush and you wait for it to be dry. Might take a couple of minutes. Once you're happy with the gluing situation for the bottom of your paper and the Mod Podge, then you can take your brush again and coat it on top. You are going to want to wait for this to be dry before you work on the interior. So now that this front cover is dry, no glue is coming off of my hands, what we can do is glue this pattern paper inside. We're also going to use Mod Podge for that. We're also going to stamp a sentiment that will go inside. I'm kind of debating whether I should let the couple pick what message goes inside, because I have two really great sentiment stamps. One says marriage. Marriage is what brings us together today, which of course is from The Princess Bride. But I also have this super cute one, which is getting married means sharing your toys. And it's a quote by a child at a wedding. I will have the details in the description box below. But for now, what we're going to do is glue this sheet inside our Altoid tin. So once the glue is dry underneath this pattern paper, we're going to coat it again like we did with this pattern paper. What I'm going to actually do is just stamp the sentiment, probably both, and I'm going to just leave it inside the tin for the couple to attach onto this page, whichever one they prefer. I'll even make it easy for them by using some tear tape to attach the sentiment. We're going to use Intense Black ink to stamp the sentiments. Depending on the size of the piece you're working with, you can stamp more than one stamp here. So we're just going to take our ink I like to take my microfiber cloth and kind of circle it to help smooth out the ink. So as you can tell, it's coming along. It's getting much nicer impressions. So for this hop that we're doing, for all of the people that leave comments on our videos, whichever video you leave a comment on, you will be entered into a drawing with the other commenters to win the mini album that we're showing you on the particular video you commented on. Take your brush, take your tile, place it down. There, it's nice and cute. And now we're going to take our liquid glass and our paper flowers and encircle the word love. I'm going to stick a white flower here and another red flower. As you can see, they're not all the same size, because there were actually 2 paper flowers dies in the set that I used. Now we're going to stick one more little paper embellishment on here. We've got these cute little hearts that are stitched. Well, they at least have the beginnings of stitching. There's no thread in them. We're just going to stick that right there. So that's how I put together this mini album. So we did go a little bit backwards since we actually made it on this video, because I started out by showing you how I did the actual album part and not just the cover and the interior of the lid. And then we're finishing up with how we're doing the lid. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you like what you saw, please, I would love if you hit that subscribe button. Please click the like button. Remember to leave a comment if you would like to win this mini album. I hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy, stay crafty. Have a wonderful day. Bye.